Okay, so welcome first of all. I hope you enjoyed your lunch. I'm a bit fuming because I missed dessert, but hopefully I'll be able to go back over and get it. So first of all, welcome to our Inspirational Women's event. The reason behind this is on Sunday the 8th of March is International Women's Day. This is a worldwide recognised day. I had a guest speaker yesterday who informed me it started in 1908. I argued and said 1911, but it was something to do with a march. And I think I went with a bigger march. I would have done, wouldn't I? Needed a bit more of a celebration. There wasn't enough zhuzh around it. So the Celebrate is to raise awareness for women's rights. And the theme for 2020 is Each for Equal. An equal world embeds an equal opportunities. My other guest speaker yesterday was quite scary, I have to say. The women that have been walk through these doors on a daily basis, but our guest speakers this week have inspired me beyond belief. And she was talking to a group of business students, and she informed us that the government have done a lot of analysis, and they're saying it's going to be 2186 till there is actual equality across the board. I loved it when a student went, oh, we've got to wait another 1,000 years. And then maths. No, they were very, very intelligent students. No, fine. As a college, we wanted to raise awareness this week, and we used the 8th of March as a kind of template for us to have a week-long event. This started on Monday, where I had the privilege of delivering to over 250 students the history of women. I felt that there was no point in bringing all these inspirational women in if we had no meat on the bones, if no one understood why we were doing it. Very interesting, if I asked what a suffragette was, it was the men that always knew the answers. Imagine Mary Poppins and things changed. If anyone knows me, there was a full dance routine, it's fine. Amazing, inspirational start to the week because the lack of knowledge that our students had. I asked them at the beginning to, ring the ma. There we go. I asked them at the beginning to ring the nans or text the nans if they were still fortunate to be with us. Their mums, find out your nan's date of birth, find out your mum's date of birth. That was interesting, because I'm as old as most of the nans. So that was a bit, not the kind of hit I wanted it to have. For me, my nan was born, I think, around about 1920. My mum was born in 1943, and I was born in 1974. So when we looked at the history of women, for me, my timeline is really pivotal. For them, not so more, but it was interesting that they realised that in 1980, we still couldn't get a credit card. How the hell did we go? A woman without a credit card. So the women that we've had coming in to speak to our students following on from Monday go from every aspect of the industry that we broke in this college. We had Jenna Fawcett from Graham Constructions, Eve Townsend, a celebrity chef that's been on the Great British Menu, Debbie Rice, an ex-student of ours, motor vehicle student who's now working for Harley Davidson. Those students wouldn't let her leave the room. They were grasped on every word she said, whether they be male or female students. Selena Stewart, to me, my inspiration, the woman that leads in the AOC about preventing radicalisation. Our amazing independent governors that came in, our female independent governors. Trisha Livesey, that literally, as far as Anne-Marie Nixon keeps telling me, runs the whole of Cumbria NHS, but she was unbelievable. So, I thought, why should you miss out on having the opportunity to listen to an inspirational woman? So I am very honoured to introduce a woman to you who I think is a real inspiration. So can you give a warm welcome to Gloria Allerton-Simmons, please?
How do you follow an inspirational woman like that and start again? I have to say I'm very honoured to be here today. among so many amazing women in this room. I feel very privileged to have been asked to share some of my life with you. I was a war baby and got to spend my first 3 years with my mum because my dad was actually in the war. And it was my first insight on how amazing women are. Strong, self-sufficient, resilient and loving. All amazing qualities which aren't exclusive to our sex, but let's be honest, we're called on to use them an awful lot more. My parents encouraged me to use every talent I had, and sometimes ones that I didn't, like ballet and tap dancing. I think Mother thought she was always going to see me on the stage. She was mistaken. But I did have a voice, and I was trained in music and got an offer to go to the Royal Academy of Music. But this was the 60s, and I decided singing with a rock band was going to be far more fun. I got a job working with the bank at this time, but carried on singing with the band most evenings and at weekends, playing in local clubs, but sometimes we got some bizarre bookings, like playing in the deaf school. Don't know how we went down. But as you can imagine, we also played in Barton Prison, that was interesting, and Ashworth Hospital, which had to be one of the most amazing ones I've ever been in, as the people came in and the women were segregated to one side, the men were segregated to the other, and then they went, "You can sing." I went, right, okay, so started to sing, and there was this almighty dash from both sides of the room as they tried to get to each other. And then they go, no, you've got to split up, you've got to split up. So basically, and they all tried to creep closer and closer to me. I was always at the front of the band, but on that particular day, I ended up singing behind the drummer. So then we were asked to audition to entertain the American troops in Germany. And we passed with flying colours, so we all gave our notices in to our various jobs and prepared to leave. We were packed and ready to go, and doing our final performance in Liverpool, when our band manager got the call that the troops had been withdrawn to fight in Vietnam. So there we were, no jobs and nowhere to go. Our band manager got us to drive that night to London in our old ambulance, which was our transport to do gigs. And Scotland the next night, and so it went on. Got Marcus in the audience, he knows what we're talking about. When you just have to follow the gigs, it doesn't matter where they are. Our ambulance drank so much petrol, as you can imagine, and we weren't getting paid a great deal. And basically, most of the money went on petrol and not on food for us. I came back home 5 stone, because basically we hadn't been able to eat. But you said to think, well, I had that opportunity, and I did have some great times. I was even on the same stage as Lulu, come on. However, things didn't work out, as I say, but bank phoned me up and went, "We need you back." That was unusual. For somebody to have actually given in the notice, and then, "We need you back." And it wasn't exactly rock and roll, but they were good employees, and I worked hard, and I'm very proud to say I became one of the very first female band managers. At this time, I met my first husband, who was a very handsome sailor, and within 9 months of meeting, we were married. Barry carried on in the Royal Navy, and I was still working for the bank, putting in computer systems all around the country, until I became pregnant with my daughter. This is a difficult time, as Barry wasn't home very much, but my father-in-law was amazing, and would help me so much. Then came the son, and then Barry gave up the seat to be at home with us. This was my time now. I had itchy feet to be doing something more than a stay-at-home mum. So I decided in the evenings to become a Tupperware saleswoman. With great success, I became the top saleswoman. I haven't got time today to give you the funny stories, but if you invite me back again, I'll tell you. That's a lecture in itself. I wasn't thinking of going back to work full-time when the bank phoned and said, "Would you please come back part-time?" And once again, my father-in-law said he was happy to look after the children for 2 days a week for me to return to work. You talk about inspirational women, that man was my inspiration. I was lucky that I had a lot of opportunities to extend my work outside of the workplace, and became involved in bringing banks within the schools, where I would interview young people for all the posts that you would find in the bank, from manager to the cashiers to account opening. I chose to work in schools that were underprivileged, as I felt that I could make a difference to those young people, giving them an experience that they wouldn't get anywhere else. My reward was when they went on to achieve far above what was ever expected from them, and to the date of my retirement from the bank, they would still come and see me, having become accountants and solicitors, and they always said it was because someone had faith in their capabilities when everybody else wrote them off. I was also given the opportunity of recruiting and motivating my colleagues to work with the community, and I set up charitable causes that they could get involved in. We would fundraise and also give our time to help many projects, painting old people's homes, doing the gardens for people who couldn't do it for themselves anymore, taking food parcels to the needy, and too many other things to mention. I think we all felt that we gained more from the experience than the people we helped. During this time, I had lost my husband after a long illness, and I was aged 50. What to do with my life now? So I got involved a lot more with marketing for the bank, nationally and locally. And that led me down different paths because I got involved with the arts, and I got involved with a lot of people who were in the theatre, and that love for that era of my life still carries on today. But I met one very special lady called Esther Brown. I'm sure a lot of you will have heard of her. She's one of our best political actresses. And she said to me, Glo, do you think the bank would give any money for us to put on a performance of the vagina monologues? I went, I don't know, but I'll try. It's my budget. I think you might be all right. So anyway, I said, yes, I can. Yeah, I can get that money for you. And she said, well, we don't want just actresses on the stage. We want people from every stage of life. So will you be in it? Well, as you can imagine, she didn't have to ask twice. There it was, doing vagina monologues. Now, if you do vagina monologues, normally if you go and see it, there's 3 women. We had 16 on the stage. And each one of us had something different to bring. I mean, it was the most amazing thing I've ever done. And then the following year, we got the money again. I wonder how. Anyway, we got the money again, and basically we put on another performance the following year. This time, we've moved from the Epstein Theatre, and we've moved to the Royal Court. And we still filmed the Royal Court. Can I mention you my daughter now? And Louise came and actually came on the stage and also did it. And I think she'd agree, it was probably, for women, the most empowering thing you could ever do. Not just for us, but for the audience as well. Amazing times. And from there, people thought I met people on that stage that I didn't think I would meet. And there's an amazing band called Sense of Sound, a Liverpool band, and I became their mentor and also on their board, which I still continue to do today. Then I met my husband, my second husband, and because of all my background and everything else, then basically decided that we needed to get married, and I didn't want to run any weddings. Surprise, surprise. And so we had a lot of discussion about where we would have a wedding. Anyway, we ended up having it on the stage of the Liverpool Empire, and being on Renata Reports, and we were the first couple ever to get married on a stage. So after doing my 40 years at the bank and everything else I was doing, retirement should have beckoned. But I was approached by one of the charities I had worked with, and they offered me a job as their development manager. I had the dream job working with 2 fantastic women, raising money for medical research. Not exactly the easiest cause to raise money for. So I had to get people involved and had to think outside the box. So I started my famous supper clubs. I would get local restaurants to put on a meal for a reasonable price, and then companies to pay a much larger price and take tables for a meal, and then they could network. Then I would set these companies challenges to raise even more money, but always in a way that would be an amazing experience and a challenge for them. Skydiving, climbing peaks in foreign lands, running marathons. These are all quite normal activities today, but not so much then. And although the charity benefited greatly, everyone who undertook these challenges said that it had helped them to grow in confidence, so we all benefited. After 4 years, I decided it was time to hang up the hat and relax. However, anyone who knows me would understand I don't take doing easy very well. Word got around that I was free, and I had a few charities knocking on my door, but chose to work for a small cancer charity called Sunflowers. And I decided to join the Chamber of Commerce, and they were amazing supporters, and we were named their adopted charity in our very first year. That led to many companies becoming our sponsors, and one of them was the Novotel, who had just opened. And they wanted me to put on a prestigious event. And so now, that was how my famous Alternative Grand National Ladies' Day started there with 70 women. And now 10 years later, I have 200 women coming this year. Over this time, we have raised £100,000 for local charities. Do you think it's time for me to hang up my hat? I don't think so. Life without a purpose to help friends and family would be a very empty life indeed. So, if you ask me what my greatest inspiration has been, I would have to say the thing that inspires me every day would be my amazing daughter, my wonderful son, my precious grandson, and my adopted granddaughter and baby grandson. I'm sure most of the women in this room feel exactly the same. So thank you for listening, and thank you for the privilege of being here with you.
In your life having to live up to that. The counselling's cost a fortune. Thank you. I said to her last night, she said, I won't talk for long. That's quite good for me, Mum. I won't talk for long. She said, but obviously I say at the end about you being your mum. And I said, no, because I don't want everyone to know you're my mum. It's a bit embarrassing. No, I don't want everyone to know you're my mum because you stand alone, Mum. You're not here today because you're my mum. You're here today because you're an unbelievable woman. But I can't be prouder, and to have that inspiration in my life is unbelievable. Okay, so let's recognise you lot. So what happened was, we didn't just want to bring in inspirational speakers. The college wants to recognise the unbelievable women that walk the corridors of this college every day. We wanted the women in your lives, your friends, your mum, your nans, your colleagues, to be recognised. We had over 100 nominations, which is a lot. It's the first time we've ever done it. We brought in an independent panel. It was very X Factor. We brought in an independent panel, and I will be honest with you, I've got a bit of a big heart, and if I could stand here today and read out, every single 100 of those nominations, I would. Unfortunately, we had to narrow it down, and you are now going to hear a series of people are being recognised. In some circumstances, the people who are reading out what they've wrote about them are the actual nominees. So enjoy this bit. There's tissues at the back for whenever you're ready, and we're going to start. So can I ask Andy to come up, please?
It certainly isn't me that we should be clapping. I've only been here since July, but I've been working in education for over 30 years, and I've worked with a huge number of inspirational people, men and women. When I joined the college, though, and started working with this person, I realised there was something very special here. And when the email came out from Louise asking for nominations, I felt moved to put a nomination in for Sue. Sue is quite literally one of the most caring and compassionate people I have worked with. And her passion for the young people that she works tirelessly with is unbelievable. She's always positive and open, always listens to them, always takes heed of what they say and understands where they come from. And for a vast number of our students, she is quite literally one of the most influential women in their lives, because most of them don't have role models like her outside of the college. I watch her at times and I see her genuinely listen and give of herself tirelessly to our students every day, and it is truly inspirational. So thank you, Sue, for everything you do.
our next nomination is, so that obviously, as you can see, was a nomination from a fellow peer. Our next nomination is, so I'm going to ask for Joanne Heeney to come up, please. I do actually have your nominations, what you've wrote printed out here. I love the fact you're all coming up with your programmes. Heavens for that. Okay, so I'm going to let Joanne talk about a very special person.
Okay, thank you. It's always difficult to pick a student. I'm very lucky because all of my access students are brilliant, and maybe I've just got a very lucky group. But Tayla has always stood out amongst our access group. So Tayla is a student on access to health and social care. She's just a joy to teach. She's sitting there. I'm trying hard not to embarrass her too much. She's just a brilliant class member. She's hugely popular amongst her peers. She's an absolute joy to teach. Her academic work is amazing. Her personal professional development has just been fantastic to see. But Tayla came back to education to pursue a dream of SEN teaching, and a dedication and focus in achieving that goal is now reaping her rich rewards. Tayla grew up as a deaf person and had a poor personal experience of education, and this has given her the awareness she needs of how social justice and equality should underpin all teaching, not just for children with special educational needs, but for everybody that's being educated in whatever capacity. I think Tayla will be instrumental in driving forward the changes that are needed around SEN curriculum, and I think she'll be a credit to all the kids that she comes into contact with at any school that she works for in the future. Alongside her commitment to her access course, Tayla is developing her skills in British Sign Language, and she's been successful in achieving a dream place at university because of her hard work in access. I've no doubt at all about her ability to succeed. I'm sure she will inspire all young people she works with in the future. She's a credit to herself, her family, and the college, and everyone that's had the privilege of teaching. Tayla.
Inspiration, and the fact that you haven't had the best experience of education and coming back and hoping to make a difference is just amazing. Okay, Sally, come on down.
I've nominated Joanna Crawford from South Sefton campus. Joanna is an exceptional teacher, always going the extra mile for her students, and she achieves outstanding results every year. But in addition to her class teaching, she works tirelessly on a one-to-one basis with students who are underperforming or struggling on a pastoral level. She's the kindest person I know. In particular, she's given both moral and academic support to one of our students who's an asylum seeker, giving up her own time to help this particular student complete citizenship GCSE. Always kind, always patient, Joanna is an inspiration to us all.
Thank you. Okay, Tracie, Hamel.
Hello everyone. I'm a teacher here currently. I teach on criminology degree, and I've picked this person from who's my student Kathryn over here. Kathryn returned to study as a mature student. After suffering, her husband passed away and she was left to bring up with 4 young children on her own. And since she's been in my class, she's really motivated. In spite of all the obstacles that she faces, she continues to be an inspiration to herself and all the other members of my class. She also helps support women who are disenfranchised and marginalised by giving them, helping them with education and to access accommodation. Kathryn is a well-led student who always helps others, so I'd like to celebrate her today with you all. So my inspirational woman is Kathryn Barton.
I'm collecting brochures now because I know what's going on. Okay, so the next person that we're going to recognise is one of our students nominated her friend. Now, our student won't get up and speak, so McKie Edwards is very kindly going to read out about her nomination for her friend.
Thanks, Louise. How lovely is this today? I said this is one of the best times I've had in work for ages. So, like Louise said, I'm reading this on behalf of Victoria. So, Allison was diagnosed with MS several years ago, and at the time she had a young family. But Allison just got on with the diagnosis and the symptoms to follow over the years. Victoria's never seen this MS stop Allison from doing anything. She's had her down days, but they don't last for long. Last year, Allison's long-time partner was diagnosed with throat cancer, and again, she kept going and kept the house running as normal for her family, and thankfully now he's in remission. Victoria says that Allison is an inspiration to me, her daughters, and everyone she meets. So, thank you, Allison.
Can I ask Ruth Mead to come up, please? I have to say, South Sefton, you're a very fabulous group of compassionate, caring people, aren't you? You think a lot of each other.
I've never really needed a microphone before, I don't think. I've nominated Caroline Clift. Caroline lost her son Adam in 2016 to Barton's lymphoma, aged just 17. Since his death, Caroline has worked with Adam's family and friends, who between them have raised over £78,000 for Bloodwise to fund medical research. Caroline is constantly challenging herself with new ways of fundraising and takes every opportunity to raise awareness for childhood cancers. For example, last month, she ran 12 kilometres for the first time, raising money for Children with Cancer UK. The energy she ploughs into these courses, alongside raising her other two sons and doing a fantastic job in our biology department, which she really does, astounds me. Caroline joined Hubert in 2017, and since she's joined us, she's turned our biology department around. Last year, our students achieved 100% A star to C, which is the best results we've ever had in the college. And this isn't in there, but when she first started, the class that she took over, one of the girls who was achieving well below target, got a C at the end of the year, which was a real achievement, and she wrote in the card to Caroline at the end of the year, "You were like an angel sent to us." I think Caroline is a real inspiration and a real life role model. She certainly is to me. I hate standing up in front of people, and this has forced me to do it. So thank you, Caroline, for everything you do.
Okay, so our next nomination was two students that are here studying health and social care, and they are people that have become friends, and one nominated the other. being our students, they went, I feel ashamed, I'm not getting up and speaking in front of people, I'm not being funny or not, but I haven't even put my makeup on now. So she's asked me to read out for her. I'm nominating this person because she has done nothing but help me through my most difficult times I have faced. She was also going through some really bad things herself, and she is one of the strongest persons I know, and she is a true friend. Are you both want to come up together and get what you need to do? Okay, we're down to our last two. We've got a nan and a mum. What more could you want in this world? This next nomination is going to be very kindly read out to us by our principal, Rachel. So this wonderful man nominated his grandmother, and I contacted him and I rang him. And I said, your grandma's been nominated, and Rachel will read out what he said, and unfortunately she's been diagnosed with cancer, and she's going through chemotherapy at the moment. What moved me more than anything was him, because there's a theme through all of this, because women inspire women, and women inspire men. And he said, she's just so pleased that I've written in. Don't worry, there's been a poke. He said that she's getting a whole spa treatment when she's okay. Trust me, and she's living in the L20 restaurant and she's coming to mine for a leg of lamb on Sunday. But it was him, and he said, she's just made up what I've written, and she'll be over the moon that she's going to get some flowers, but please give it to another man. Please let another man be known how important she is. So no, I won't. It's very important that Rachel reads out about Yvonne today, so please welcome Rachel.
I would like to nominate my grandmother Yvonne because she has been inspirational in the lives of men and women. She took responsibility of me and my brother and my cousins when our parents passed away. She is the life and soul of a party and loves us unconditionally. My nan doesn't like to spend on herself or spoil herself, so she would not ever book a spa day or lunch for herself, and when we would book one for her, she would tell us not to. She is incredibly caring and compassionate and only wants to help others, which she has been doing the whole of her life. Above all, she does everything with a smile on her face and a love in her heart.
As I say, Yvonne's had the biggest bouquet today you could possibly imagine. And if I can get my hands on her and give her a cuddle, I will. Okay, so I said before that looking around this room, women inspire women. Victoria, you nominated your friend. I have to say, I don't mean to embarrass you, but I think you're one of the most inspirational women we've come across in our department. And what you do for our fellow students is unbelievable. So it's amazing how this has come about. So we didn't know the names. The panel didn't look at who nominated who or anything like that. It wasn't any for me, but we'll talk about that at another time. Just saying who's put all of this together. All right. So, put it out there. Next year, just to let you know, we'll be doing it again next year, whenever you're ready. So, I know they are, love. Yeah, I know they're coming in early, don't worry. So, we didn't know who was nominating who. There was no names on it. Aaliyah has already been recognised today as a very beautiful friend to someone else. Aaliyah then, without us realising, had nominated her mum. And when we read, Aaliyah is not comfortable for everything that she wrote, which is, we will respect that. Good job, really, because the tissues would just be flowing. But how beautiful is that a young lady has obviously been brought up by an inspirational woman and then has come into this college and then has been nominated by someone else for being an inspirational friend. So I'm going to take this time to read about your gorgeous mum. Okay, my mum does everything for me, although she's really not very well. She's never complained, and quite often my nan informed me that she would go without food when she was a single mum to allow me to eat. She works 6 days a week, doing 3 jobs, cleaning, and also is a dinner lady. She is the most selfless person I've ever come across in my life, and she has always supported me and is always grateful for anything that I do for her. I've recently been through a very bad time in my life, and she has always been there for me, always supported me, and always been by my side. She never complains, even though she's doing her several jobs in primary school's dinner lady. She doesn't take a break. She works 6 days a week from 6 a.m. till 6 p.m. and tries to provide whatever she can from me. She motivates me every day to wake up and continue on my course at college. I don't really ever tell her how much I admire her because I don't really know if she'll understand. She deserves a break. So, Mum, who works 6 days a week, 6 p.m. till 6 a.m. or 6 p.m. 6 p.m. can't be here today, but we'll make sure your mum gets that spa break, and we'll make sure that there's another bouquet of flowers that are on the way to your very special mum. So can we have a round of applause for your mum, please? Okay, so I think you'll all be glad of an emotional roller coaster. Between a really good 2-course meal. Oh, by the way, I missed out on the chocolate, so I'm still going back. It's all right, I can get it. Anyone who knows me, interviewed me, it's Vicky's fault, interviewed me, watched me deliver any sessions, you know, I can't finish without a good quote. It wouldn't be in me. There is a quote at the back of your actual programme today, and it really does, I feel, emulate what has happened here today. There's generations that are being recognised, there's women recognising other women. Every woman's success should be an inspiration to the other. We are the strongest when we cheer each other on. I'd just like now, Rachel's just going to come over and bring this fabulous event to an end, so if we could just a round of applause for Rachel Archie for accepting today, please.
This college, which I think is absolutely spectacular. What a day. It's been really, really emotional. I feel ashamed I'm looking capable. This is by far the most fun I've ever had at work with you. I remember that. Don't worry. So I've listened in awe at the citations read out today, many of which can relate to mums and nans and friends, and echo very much the thoughts I have about my own mum, my own nan, and my own friends. It never ceases to amaze me what we are all capable of. And that is men and women. I have met some amazingly inspirational men who supported me to be where I am right now. I've heard so many examples of inspirational women inspiring the next generation of inspirational women. I think that is really important. You know, there's so much inspiration that we have, and it's our job, I see, to inspire other women around us. So I just personally want to say a big thank you to all of you. It now falls to me to close the event, so I want to thank everyone, and I can't name everyone because I've only been here 5 weeks, so I don't know everybody's name, okay? So I want to thank everybody who's been involved in the organisation of this, especially Louise. But not only the organisation of today's event, but also everything that's taken place throughout the week. Thank you all for attending today, but most importantly, thank you all for being inspirational. Have a lovely weekend and a safe journey home. Cheers.
So yeah, I'm pumping up the tunes. I wasn't ready to say. I heard it wrong. Can I just, those that who were nominated nominees, can you please stay behind so we can get a photograph? Rachel, if you don't mind staying, so we can throw you in that. It's been a long day, Rachel. I've been quite politically correct so far. There is tea and coffee at the back. There are Inspirational Women, International Women cupcakes. Please take them, even if you want to take them home. See little ones there at the back. Because again, unbelievable women in the kitchen. Yesterday I went and ate cake. They were like, don't worry, we'll make them. Thank you. And just thank you for being an absolute inspiration. This has been one of the toughest, busiest, but most amazing weeks I've had. Best time I've ever had in work. Thank you so much.